Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day.
Because you thought tonight's crowd was pretty crazy, 80,000 in Australia. But
the crowd doesn't win fights, I do.
WBC, the lightweight champion of the world.
you ever been in Australia?
No, I never been, but I look forward to it. Going to go pick up some belts out there.
Didn't have to sell a chain to make a fight. All we got to do is make that flight. You gonna hide behind them judges, but Lord Devin Haney gonna stand above. I'm serious, George Cambosis. Go!
I'd like to wish you all a very warm welcome to Australia, everyone.
I want to show all my experience, everything that it took to get to this point. I want to show the world.
Well, who's the best young fighter in the game?
Me, by far.
For the 54th consecutive round, Devin Haney has outlanded his opponent in total connect.
He can hit the mitts, he can hit the bag all he wants, but it's different when you've been there with Devin Haney.
Cambosos, you in trouble.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
You said a lot, you did a lot. Tomorrow, you're in trouble.
Pussy!
I'd fight you in your backyard if I had to, because I know that I'm going to beat you. And you'll see June 5th.
Wow.
The universally recognized, undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin Haney.
SDS Promotions.
Yeah!
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice. We wanted to talk about the Janibek versus Jaime Munguia mandatory title fight. This will not be a long show, as I'm not expecting many callers, but I did want to put out the news for anyone that uses TBV to stay up to date on what is going on in the boxing world. It does look like Munguia and Janibek have been ordered to fight, and they have 15 days to negotiate. So once again, Jaime is being pitted in a title fight. We'll see if he is going to, actually take it, because he's been in this position in the past. So it was quite surprising, though, that the WBO would order in 15 days. I mean, wow, one day more than 2 weeks. It's just like, I didn't really get that. Janibek just became the champion. He just defended versus Bentley. I don't know what's the rush, but that is the details. And I quote, "Please be advised that the WBO World Boxing Championship Committee orders the parties herein to commence the negotiations for the above referenced bout between Jaime Munguia and Janibek Ali, you know the last name." The chairman of the WBO Champions Committee noted that the promoters of both boxers via official letter, a copy of which was obtained by Boxing Scene, shout out to Boxing Scene, and the parties are granted 15 days to reach an agreement. A purse bid will be called if a deal is not reached by December 5th. The minimum accepted bid for the WBO sanctioned middleweight title fight is $200,000. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, that is an Oscar De La Hoya and I believe Fernando Beltran fight with Jaime Munguia. So, they'll have a couple of people, with the ability to bid if they do get to a purse bid situation. As of right now, there is no indication that they do need to go to purse bid. So we're hoping that Jaime takes this one, as he hasn't been in a decent fight that the fight fans care about for some time now. I don't know how much we would care about Janibek, but hardcores definitely would give Jaime the credit for getting in there. And if ever there is a time, it is now, right? Because obviously, Janibek didn't look the greatest. It didn't look like a killer his last time out. We are going live again at 12 o'clock from the Wynn Casino, doing our daily show from the Wynn Casino live out of the Blue Wire studio. And we will be having Austin Slive on the show. So if you want to go ahead and ask him a question, go ahead and do so by joining our Patreon page. I have put the link in the live chat of this show. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, as this is our second time going live. We are taking callers on either Discord or Twitter. If you want to speak and want to give your opinion on this particular topic, you can do so by obviously requesting that on both Discord and or Twitter Spaces. Once again, decent fight if they can make it happen. Not sure that they will, being as though, again, Jaime is with Golden Boy. There's heavy rumors of Golden Boy wanting Jaime to fight. What's my man's name? Wanting him to fight Gennady Golovkin. So that right there, that's a bigger fight for Jaime. And if they could lock that in, it's obviously better for Jaime to go that route. And I think Golovkin has about 2 belts at 160. So then it just makes more sense for you to go back into that John Beck fight after you beat Golovkin. You'd be the A side, you'd have more belts, and you'd have a belt to bring to the table. We'll see, is that what Golden Boy tries to pull off, right? We don't know. Is that what they try to pull off? But quite possibly, right? Because going into the Janibek fight is going to be a difficult fight for Munguia, but he does have that heavy output that can keep Janibek obviously busy. We've seen what Denzel was able to do, Mr. Bentley. So we'll see, man, how that works out. Again, we do have quite a few callers on Twitter Spaces, and we are accepting calls on Discord. If you want to talk about the Jaime Munguia and Janibek mandatory order title fight, they got 13 days now to negotiate. So would be interesting to see what happens, as it's less than 2 weeks to get a deal over the line. And before we do wrap up, let me just go to the rankings in the WBO and tell you who would be next in line if Jaime decides not to go that route, because maybe Oscar feels like, look, we can get you Gennady. Because maybe, I feel like maybe, just maybe, Gennady, right? Just maybe Gennady will face a guy like Jaime if he's pushed to do so by someone like DAZN. DAZN can easily do that and force Jaime to fight, right? Because, they've been giving them pretty easy fights thus far. And, it's about that time. Let's be real. It's about that time for him to step up. So, we're going back to Twitter. Okay, it looks like no one is requesting to speak. And on Discord, no one is requesting. My producers are telling me that Oscar De La Hoya is indicating that obviously Charlo is next, but Charlo has been mandated by the WBC to defend his title versus Carlos Adames. So the call out of Oscar, for his fighter, Jaime, it's not really going to work at this moment because, yeah, I mean, why would Oscar care? Or excuse me, why would the WBC cares what Oscar wants? I'm just a little lost. They've ordered Carlos Adames, who's, earned his right. I believe Charlo hasn't had a mandatory for about 515 days or more. So I just can't see, simply because Oscar wants Jaime in there, for him to somehow get a shot and, jump Carlos Adames, who's actually done something. But this is the post from Oscar De La Hoya, where you can see in the caption, he says, Charlo, you're next. Again, we haven't even seen Charlo fighting in some time. He had some big fights on the horizon that obviously he could not take. So there's heavy rumors that he may not be fighting due to issues, family issues. So I don't see Charlo, being an issue in these negotiations at all. I think that we'll get either Jaime saying he doesn't want to fight in, this WBO order, or Jaime fighting Gennady Golovkin. We're going out to Liam on Twitter Spaces. What's up, Liam? Liam, you gotta unmute.
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, just real quick, I ain't had much to say. I just think that it's a good fight. I think Jaime is a superior fighter. I think he's going to pull it off. And also wanted to add that a lot of people don't realize that Triple G, when he signed his multi-deal with DAZN, included equity in the company. So I think they're going to make Oscar's going to try to make the Golovkin fight happen so he can give Jaime those belts. Thanks for the call.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in and voicing your opinion on Twitter Spaces. If you want to talk, go ahead and request. Looks like we got Ari Boxing Talk. What up? Ari, you got to unmute.
Sorry, it usually takes a few seconds when you're switching over from Twitter, so that's why sometimes people don't respond right away. Yeah, the whole Jaime situation is very interesting. I mean, it seems like, I don't know, I'm not saying him particularly, but his team is not letting him fight the guys that, any tough competition, in my opinion. The Carlos Adames was ordered by the WBC at one point. They declined that. It seemed like we were going to finally get Charlo versus Munguia, and then in the last minute, it just didn't happen. Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene reported that Charlo's not going to fight for a while. He's got some personal things going on. He's not going to fight for a while. That's like I said, I think what should happen is Adames should be raised to full champion, or let Munguia and Adames fight for the full WBC championship, and let Charlo be champion in recess. That'll solve the situation. We'll see if because it seems like Munguia's team, him and his team, are chasing the Triple G fight. But Triple G has two mandatories that are lined up back to back. Charlo's not going to fight in a while. Janibek is looking for an opponent, but he also saying, "Oh, I only want to fight champions," because it's the whole 160 division is a mess right now. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, Janibek can say what he wants. He's been ordered, so that's why we're here. That's why we're discussing. I
mean, listen. I think Munguia should take that fight. I think Munguia should take that fight, and he should fight Janibek. Why not? I mean, top ranking Golden Boy.
Honestly, like I said, if the Charlo fight cannot be secured for him, then yeah, definitely take this fight with Janibek because it's a world title shot over an unproven champion at the moment. But if you could get the Gennady fight, you got to go with the Gennady fight. Obviously, there's more on the line there. There's more of a name recognition. There's more belts on the line. And then you come into that, John Beck fight as an A-side.
Ness, but here's the thing, right? So from my understanding, Triple G he's due to fight Falcao next, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, he has to fight his WBA mandatory, which is Lara. Right, so that's 2 back-to-back mandatory.
He's due to fight who? He's due to fight who?
So, from my understanding, he has a fight with Falcao, right? Falcao, the Brazilian guy.
Yeah, that guy could be giving step-aside money. He could be giving step-aside money.
Okay, so that's a mandatory. And then the next mandatory after that is a WBA mandatory, which is Lara.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, step-aside, that's the only thing I can think of.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So, Triple G already has 2 mandatories that he's supposed to fight, and Munguia is chasing that fight. Why not just fight Janibek when it's straight to the title?
Yeah, but you're asking a question that you have the answer to. You're saying why not? You know why? Because Triple G is more than one belt, and it's a bigger name fight. So yeah, he's gonna wait as long as he can wait to get the IBF champion, the WBA champion, and the IBO champion. Like, why wouldn't I try and get my team to get me the fighter who's 40 years old with 3 belts, brother?
It's an easier fight. I understand. It's an easier fight.
In theory, I didn't see Canelo young ass knock out Triple G. I didn't see Canelo whitewash him either.
Yeah, like I said, Munguia has 41 fights, and
but that's typical of Mexican boxers that they're grooming. Look at the number of fights Canelo has. Look at the number of fights that Gilberto has. Then look at him again, and look when they took the leashes off those guys, and when they finally allowed those guys to, take opportunities. Like Canelo was like 30-something fights in, and just fought fucking Hatton's brother, bro. And Cotto's brother. It wasn't like he was out here killing shit, No,
and I understand that. But look what happened to Gilberto when he finally fought somebody. I'm not going to share his resume, but what I'm saying is...
What do you mean, Ari? Gilberto became a champ. Last I checked, he was a champ at 60. He beat Jesse Hart twice. He beat Angulo. Last I checked, Angulo, people thought maybe should have beat Berlanga. Maybe was robbed in that fight. Maybe should have got a disqualification win. So, last I checked, Angulo, did he not go 12 or something good with David Benavidez?
Yeah, like I said, he's a tough opponent. I'm not. Look, like I said, I'm not shitting on Zurdo's resume. What I'm saying is that, he had a lot of situations where he missed out on time because of whatever promotional issues he was going through, whatever. But, Munguia, like I said, man, he's got 41 fights already. I think it's time to let him fight a champion already. And if you give him the opportunity to fight Janibek, who didn't look that great in his last fight.
Why are you saying let him fight a champion? He fought a champion already. What are you talking about? Like, why are you acting?
No, he fought a champion. He fought Saddam Ali 154. But what I'm saying is, if he has, for example,
You know that
hear me out
Munguia,
there,
but
right?
you know that Munguia. I don't know if you know, because you making it sound like the Saddam Ali's not a credible win. Do you know that Munguia also knocked out my man Juan Montiel at 47?
Yes, in 2 rounds. Yes, in 2 rounds. I know that.
At
I know.
47. So him fighting a welterweight is okay, because guess what? He was a welterweight.
No. What I'm saying, look, what I'm talking about is currently, right? Currently, if we look at the last few years of Munguia, right? He could have petitioned when Demetrius Andrade had the belt. Munguia was the number one contender, right? He could have very easily petitioned to fight for that championship belt. Same thing with the WBC. He was the number one contender. He could have very easily petitioned. Now, given they were going to make that fight with Charlo, right? Because Steven Espinosa told us it was basically a done deal, and then in the 11th hour, there was something came in that the zone wanted to be involved and make a pay-per-view, this and that, whatever. So that changed the whole dynamic of the deal, and then the deal fell apart. But now you have the WBO giving you another straight shot at the title versus Janibek, who didn't look that great his last fight. Or you rather wait another year for Triple G to maybe be available? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just take the shot now? Like, do they not believe in him?
Man, we going in circles. I've already told you why. If they can't get the Gennady fight, I'm sure they'll take this title fight.
I don't know. Listen, I think Munguia is a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's one of the best at 160. It just doesn't seem like his team is willing to make these fights, in my opinion.
They were willing to fight Charlo. Charlo is the one that is not available. They're willing to fight Gennady.
But that fight fell apart. But that fight fell apart not because of Charlo's team, because of and this is from Steven Espinosa told me. Well, not told me directly. He told us in a group in a space directly, was that they had a done deal for Charlo. It was pretty much done, and at the last minute, once Golden Boy Promotion got involved, they were like, "Oh, we need to have the zone involved." And then once the zone got involved, they were like, "Oh, we need to make a pay-per-view."
Rightfully so, though. I don't understand how you're blaming any one person. Like, Jaime has been built on the zone, similar to Ryan. So much so, they're so invested in him that they've taken him back to Mexico twice. 2 times they've put on pure Mexican cards that sell pesos for fucking tickets. So, yeah, they're invested in their fighter, and they're not about to send him to Showtime to fight Charlo on a non-split broadcast. But, Ari, let me get to some other callers, man. I love you. James Benitez, what up? James, unmute. We don't hear you, James. I don't know. We just heard Ari fine. You might want to hang up, jump back in. If anybody wants to request to speak on Twitter Spaces, go ahead and do so before we wrap it up. Also got callers on Discord. I need you to raise your hand if you want to voice your opinion. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Plus, we're looking for like 150 more subscribers to get to our goal of 159,000. It would be super duper fantastico to get to that today. While we're live, let's see who we got here. Looks like Jordan. What up?
Hello.
What up, Jordan? We hear you.
What's up? Yeah, this fight is going to be a good fight in Janibek and Jaime Munguia. I think Janibek, after that Denzel Bentley fight, lost his boogeyman sort of status, I think. And Jaime Munguia might come in this fight with confidence, thinking he can beat him. And it's a very good fight. Very good fight. That's what I want to say.
I like the fight as well. Let's see if Munguia actually takes it, brother.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Whose title is it for?
Say again?
Whose title is it for? Is it unification?
No, it would be for John Beck's title. The
Oh,
WBO
okay.
that he got from Andre.
Yeah. Now, look forward to it. Should be a good fight.
Yes, sir. Well, all right. Thank you for calling in. If we got any other callers, go ahead and request. Go ahead and raise your hand if you're on Discord. Any others? Okay, we got James Benitez back. Let's see. What up?
Yo, Ness, you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. My bad about a moment ago, man. Yeah, Munguia, man. So you telling me he's really seeking out a Triple G fight and everything, and there's potential that they're going to make this Janibek fight. So if he was to complete both of those fights in 2023, would you consider him possibly in contention for Fighter of the Year if he was to win those fights successfully?
I don't know, because to say Fighter of the Year, you is all dependent on what everybody else did. Like, to beat a champion and a faded champion, we got to see what else everybody else did.
Gotcha. Well, I would say that's how Golden Boy would still try to pitch it, but with the lackluster performance from Janibek as well as Triple G, which I still would have Triple G probably beating Munguia. If he was to overcome those, I still wouldn't say that he would be, but they'll probably try to market him as that. I don't think he would get through Triple G, man. I just don't think so. I mean, with him kind of struggling several rounds with Gabe Rosado, it's like I don't know. Are you sure? Do you think they really need to take the training wheels off of him just yet? But they should try to make some more money out of him because Gilberto, after what we saw, he's done. He can't fuck with none of the top competition. He can't mess with no better bees. Hell, I don't even think he beats Yard in 175. So I think Golden Boy needs to just go ahead and just do a little bit more with their development plan until they can actually ultimately procure just that real big fight. Other than that, man, they're going to really do more detriment to Munguia because Munguia would have got washed by Charlo. He'll get washed by Adames. I mean, Ness, man, just think about it, man. What top five in that division do you really have Munguia really beating, man? I just want to know your perspective.
Top 5 in
160. 160. Yeah, we'll say 160. Because I was arguing
I think he could beat Triple G, who's number 1. There's no champion. Okay. There's no Ring Magazine champion. So, yeah, Triple G's 40, 41. Munguia lets hands go.
Okay. That sounds good until shit come back.
I think Charlo offered his long layoff. That's a closer fight than people would have had a year ago. Yeah, man.
So you think he's promising?
I think he beats Ryota Marotta, but that's top 8. That's top 8 at 160. And
so you think he's ready?
We know he could beat Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko's number 9. The division isn't deep, Benitez. You're just trying to make it deep because you want to make him a bum, but that's your top 10.
I'm not trying to make him a bum, man. I just really don't see what it all is.
Laura, who started at 54, Derevyanchenko, who started at 54, Ryota Marotta, who's got 2 losses now. Like, that's your top, bro. Carlos Adames got a loss at 54. He's at number 7. Like, Eubank got 2 losses. He's number 6. I mean, this is your division, bro. You
come on, man.
We can't make it any better than what it is.
Yeah, we can't make it better than what it is, man. But you can't sit here and tell me the second act from Eubank as well as this damn rejuvenated Lara or whatever. He's not beating those 2 guys, in my opinion. I
would most certainly put money on Munguia over Lara.
That's cool, man. I was actually arguing with somebody that's in this Twitter space right now. I think Polo T, talking about, my Puerto Rican bias, man. I don't even think he's better than Belonga, man. I think that's just how I feel, man. I think even if he was to come up to 168, I think Belonga would beat him, man. So we're just going to have to see, man. Ness, I do appreciate you always providing great content and everything, man. But I'm going to keep it moving. I'm sorry about, I was just taking care of some shit for work, man. So my bad, bro.
All good, all good. We got Davidian in Buffalo Falls. What up? Davidian, Buffalo Falls. You gotta unmute, champ.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
What's good? Can you hear? Oh, you can hear me? Okay. What's good, Ness? So this is about Janibek and Jaime Munguia.
Yes.
I mean, when they gonna let the training wheels off for Jaime Munguia? I saw the fight Saturday. I don't know who the other guy was, but yeah, hopefully. I mean, he's young, so he should be able to do his thing. I just want to see him in there with somebody like, you know, all those names you mentioned, like the Charlos, the you know, if they get the Janibek fight. I mean, I just want to see the dude fight somebody instead of being in basketball gyms and stuff like that. But you know, shout out to him. I don't really have too much to say, but other than great show as always, and God bless y'all.
All right. Appreciate you calling in. If we got any others that want to speak, now is the time to do so. Go ahead and request to do that on Twitter and or Discord by raising your hand. Look like we got Polo T. What up? Polo T, we hear you.
What's up, Ness? What up, Ness? Hey, Ness. Is that the same Berlanga that got dropped by that dude that Billy Joe Saunders stopped? The same one that fucking struggled with Steve Rolls and couldn't even hurt him once? That same Berlanga?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that can't even beat the guy that Billy Joe Saunders knocked out convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, that dude Angulo ended up being tough. Remember, Gilberto and Benavidez, the Mexican monster, fought him, so he ended up being tough.
Yeah, but didn't they provoke him, though? Like, I mean, all that dude was, when he fought both of them, they were just basically, like, punching on him. I mean, he was tough, but, I mean, he didn't even win a round in between them two. He didn't even win one round. And with Berlanga, we seen what that was. That was a competitive fight.
Yep. Because again, the storyline was that Angulo never got a full training camp, but he did for Berlanga.
Oh man, but yeah, I was about to say, when you were talking about earlier, you are right though. Like, why would you want to fight a guy with one belt when you can fight the guy, arguably the number one guy with two belts? It's a bigger fight, and if you beat him, you have two belts. And with that mandatory, you are right though. Like, bro, let's be honest. Like, I don't even think we're ever gonna get Lara, because isn't Lara supposed to be fighting Danny Garcia or like Jose Benavidez? And if that happens, that's gonna be like next year.
Mm-hmm.
You think Triple G is gonna waste his time with Lara, or the winner of that fight they end up being?
Yeah.
Like, you think
Yeah. I think that Lara represents more money. You know, Al Heyman wants those two belts. If he can offer Lara up versus Triple G with a good purse, you get Triple G over here, and then boom, you know.
But I have a question. What if Lara ends up losing to like Danny or Jose Benavidez? Because I've heard that that's the two guys he's gonna fight. What happens if they beat him? Do you see a Danny Garcia versus Triple G?
Do I see what?
No, because Danny Garcia, I heard, and Jose Benavidez are supposed to be fighting Lara. But I'm saying, say one of those two end up beating him. Do you see Triple G fighting Danny Garcia? Because remember, Lara is a mandatory, but if he loses,
I don't see Danny Garcia's father allowing him to fight Triple G ever.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm saying. But he is fighting Lara, though. If you check the rankings, like, look what number he is. It's pretty obvious, like, what's going to happen next. It's like, why would he be ranked at 160 when he's never fought there? And remember, he said, I want to fight Lara. Well, what do you think? And then if he beats Lara, I mean, come on, bro. He's just going to have that.
But Danny's not ranked at 160, bro. I'm looking at the rankings. Where you got Danny ranked?
Check the WBA. Check the WBA official rankings. He was number 9. He came in at number 9. Go check the rankings, like that WBA rankings.
You ain't lying. I'm looking at it. He's number 9 at 160. How the fuck? How the fuck Danny get ranked at 160 with a fight at 54 versus a welterweight? These people are crazy. These people are crazy.
Don't be surprised next year we get an announcement: Lara versus DGS at the Barclays. Just don't. I'm just telling you, bro. There's a reason when fighters like this get ranked. That means there's something big coming for them. So I'm just telling you, like,
no, listen. But I could deal with Laura versus Danny at 155. But how do you rank him when he ain't fight Laura yet?
Because he has to be ranked, bro. Like, in order to, the WBO to let them allow, they have to fight somebody in the top 15.
Yo, my man and just skipped hella dudes, bro. And how the fuck is Thomas LaManna ahead of Danny? Oh, my God. They should have made Danny fight LaManna.
and to be fair, I mean, Lara was a skillful fighter, but, like, let's be honest. I think any of, like, the top guys beat him now. He doesn't move like, bro, that's like food. Like,
that's insane. Yo, WBA stands for what benefits Al. Holy motherfucking shit. Look at that. Brother, I got to go. Polo T, you the man with the plan. Shout out for putting us on. That was dope. Crazy, without a doubt, though. How the fuck they do Danny like that? Yo, we're going to wrap it up. I got to be back in about an hour and 20 minutes live from the Wynn Casino. Hold me down. We're going to be taking calls there on our blog talk number 14255695241, where we will be discussing the Better Beef Yard fight that got announced, unification, title shot again for Yard, and Top Rank is labeling him Knockout King. Yeah, I don't know. But thank you for joining me on Twitter Spaces. Go ahead and retweet this so that people know that we're doing this every time we go live right here on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. Well, hopefully you're subscribed so you get notified every time we do go live. Like I said, we're doing that again in an hour and 20 minutes, but we're going to be live from the Wynn Casino right here in Las Vegas. The only boxing show 5 days a week out of the Wynn. Check us out. Peace.